What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's a very important week for both Tesla and Apple, so I'm coming back with some straight facts about Apple. This stock is hot, and I just made a video that you can see right here about it hitting $500 per share and being a very good trade. They just reached $2 trillion in market cap, but that means if you want to make 50% of your money, you will have to wait for it to hit $3 trillion. So when can you expect that, and what are the things that will take us there based on the recent news? Oh, and CEO Tim Cook just sold over $131 million worth of Apple. Yikes, why did he do that? All that and more coming up right now. What's up, YouTube family? So let's start with what happened this week before the stock splits. Apple has experienced one milestone after another in recent days. It reported strong earnings. And then right after those earnings, it reported that it's gonna have a 4-for-1 stock split. And guess what happened after? It hit the $2 trillion mark. Yes, let me write that on the whiteboard real quick. $2 trillion. $2 trillion. So how does it go to? That didn't work. How does it go to $3 trillion? I just got that whiteboard. I shouldn't be doing that. Well, for that, let's take a look at two things. One, when did it hit 1 trillion? And two, what is Apple capitalizing on that's going to fuel its future growth? In August 2018, Apple hit $1 trillion. This video is in August 2020, and Apple doubled in 2 years. So based on this, it will take roughly 1 year to go up 50%. Now, obviously that is super simplified, and I got a finance degree, so it's not that simple, but I'm just breaking it down in layman's terms. I'm not taking compounding into effect, I'm just giving a rough breakdown estimate, and past performance doesn't predict future returns. A lot of you guys ask, well, this stock had 50% returns, so is it gonna do that again? No, I wish it was that easy. But here's why Apple is likely to continue growing at a very fast clip, and it's likely to be about 50% in the next year. Apple is benefiting from work from home and the time that we spend indoors. Apple just reported its numbers for the third quarter of 2020. Many of the sales increases came from products that had registered slow growth in the past quarters, but now they're speeding up. iPhone makes up 45% of the company's revenue. This is good and bad because obviously Apple has to rely on iPhone sales heavily, which are a little bit delayed, and that's not a good thing for Apple. But here's what I'm looking at that's making a difference for Apple right now. The sudden work from home boosted PC sales, and you guys know Mac computers are expensive. In fact, taking a look at the Apple's website, a 16-inch MacBook Pro will run you between $2,400 and $2,800. But it doesn't stop there. iPads, wearables, and services all experienced double-digit surges in revenue. That means while one part of Apple's business might be a large, slow-growing cash cow, the rest of the businesses are balancing scale and driving the stock growth upward, while the other part of the business is kind of growing at around 2%. Not to mention, they're adding a lot of the apps to the Apple Store because gaming companies are in high gear, producing products due to the surge in people's needing entertainment because they're working at home and they are super bored and their boss isn't watching what they're doing, so they have so much free time. They're like browsing Reddit, they're playing video games, and they're watching Uncle Henry's videos. Oh, and smashing the like button and subscribing. Wow, I actually said smashing the like button. I said it properly. I didn't say liking the smash button. Would you look at that? One more thing I want to mention, which I think is very important for Apple's growth before I move on to Tim Cook selling $131 million worth of stock, is this article from Wedbush. Wedbush is just another bank on Wall Street that does analysis on stocks, and I found this article pretty useful. I will link it in my description below. It states, once in a decade, 5G super cycle will surge Apple's stock price higher. Here is why this stock is $700 according to Wedbush. The iPhone maker is set to capitalize on a once in a decade opportunity, and that opportunity is on the verge of a massive upgrade within the iPhone cycle. Basically, its cycle has 950 million iPhones that are in the install base, and they're all going to be prepared to be upgraded to the iPhone 12 later this year, according to Wedbush. The pent-up demand for a new iPhone with 5G capabilities and a new design form will make the iPhone 12 the most significant product cycle for Apple since the iPhone 6 was launched way back in 2014, according to the firm. I think there's a lot of truth here because small investors aren't raising the price of Apple. Instead, it is smart money raising that stock. And our channel is the new smart money, so that's basically us. Wedbush estimates that 350 million iPhone users will be looking to upgrade their current iPhone over the next 12 to 18 months. And that is a lot of cash for Apple. However, 20% of the upgrades will be coming from China. We'll be writing this down so I can post an update on this on Patreon as soon as I get news on China, because that's going to be really game-changing for the stock, and it's really gonna move the stock either in the down direction or the up direction, because China is pretty massive. I mean, 20% of revenue is no joke. That's like billions and billions of dollars. All right, so we know that stock surged past $500 per share, and rather than doing a screen share, I'm going to be mixing it up for you guys so you guys get different values from each of the videos that I create. I'm going to be looking at Tim Cook's actions and commenting on why he's selling and what that means for Apple stock. Apple CEO Tim Cook was recently awarded 560,000 shares, that's a whole lot of shares, of Apple stock for serving as Apple's CEO and for Apple's strong performance under his leadership. That's hundreds of millions of dollars, but hey, Warren Buffett makes more money from Coke dividends than the Coke CEO. So you guys get my drift here. If you guys subscribe to my channel, that is absolutely within the realm of possibility for everyone watching. You can definitely build your wealth and get paid more dividends than a CEO one day if you work really hard. Now, after receiving the award, Cook sold more than 265,000 of those shares at a price ranging from $493 to $500, netting him somewhere around $131 million, according to a filing published by the SEC. The remaining nearly 300,000 shares, worth $150 million roughly, were withheld for Apple for taxes. Woo, that's a lot of tax. But the bottom line here, guys, is Tim Cook is a large shareholder of Apple, and his entire career is based on Apple performance. Tim Cook has about 800,000 shares of Apple. So is this sell a really big deal? Yes and no. From one perspective, in my opinion, he wants to sell some because Apple is at an all-time high, so it is kind of prudent to be selling at this point from his perspective. I would probably do something similar to what I'd said in my last video on NIO. If you didn't watch that video, here is a NIO analysis video that I just made yesterday or a couple days ago. You can click the link above. Regardless, how I look at it is his action isn't really a big deal because Tim Cook is obviously no dummy. He still holds a lot of shares and is heavily invested for the long term. He has every incentive to work his donkey off. So in my opinion, Apple has a very bright future and is a strong addition to everyone's portfolio, whether you're a new investor or you're over age 60. And for you guys over age 55 years old, I love to have an older audience watching me. I want to give you guys a special shout out because you're approaching retirement, and now is the best time to start preparing for your future. If you want to chat with me, I have a coaching link in my description, and I love helping and talking with someone that is older and wiser than me and has a lot of life experience. And I have a lot of respect for people that are older than me. Other than that, Webull is an app similar to Robinhood, and they give you 2 free stocks, 1 free for just signing up, and the second free when you deposit $100, worth up to $1,400. Link in my description. Either way, I love you guys and have an amazing day, and I'll see more of y'all on the weekend. Спасибо большое, вы самые лучшие у меня. I said you guys are the best in Russian, and I'm going to say my favorite line in Russian this time because a lot of you guys are loyal followers, and why not add a little Russian to this channel? Но будьте осторожны в investing. And I don't know how to say investing in Russian, so I'm just gonna say it in English. Будьте осторожны в investing. Дайте мне фистбомб.